Talking about milk and cashews, Quincy?
Milk and cashews. I just happen to like them. That's just a tasty snack. Okay, all over the world. Pickles. No.
So you think Captain Caveman?
He would eat the carpet. I'm gonna have to call it the name and draw. Soap on a rope? No, sir. I never heard of it. Like, Well, actually, maybe I've seen soap on a rope. Ridiculous. Maybe old school, but name would not Bill Cosby's name. People have a different desire.
Captain App.
Hands on, like, if the burger's fried or boiled. How would you know this? Oh, the yucky cookies? Sometimes you can mix them with Cheez-Its.
Where did that come from?
Punch the clown. Holy Toledo, my man.
We're not gonna start a world war here.
But
that's what I don't want to do. That's one of those things. I know. I never really even gave that a thought.
Been hitting the milk too hard, I think.
All right. Oh, sure. Okay. Well, again,
without further ado, Quincy Briscoe!
You can keep your wine and cheese. They give me the blues. You want to help? Hand me the milk and cashews.
I never said that I was being used. I'm doing right with my milk and cashews.
And here he is, the host with the most, the one and the only, Quincy Briscoe.
And how we doing?
You need to put on your headphones.
Yeah, he's too busy sucking down cashews. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Milk and Cashews, and Quincy actually is drinking milk and chewing on cashews as we speak here. Open your mouth and say, ah.
Ah.
Look at all those cashews in there.
Tasty treat.
Of course. Hey, I'm TC Ristani here on Milk and Cashews. We've already introduced Quincy Briscoe. Let's introduce the rest of the panel, starting with South Boston Jeff.
Hey, it's great to be back on this show. I just love it every week. You know, it's what I like to do.
He loves doing it. Mr. Uber himself, the Hall of Famer, Marky D.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea.
Okay. What about the Titanic?
They're still looking for it.
Okay, no, they found it in 85. And, of course, Mr. Harvard, Mikey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Unbelievable. Before we ask Quincy a question down here, can I ask somebody else a question down here first, Quincy?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go over to Marky D. Since our last show, you've digested dog bones, milk bones over there, but now you are one of the global elite Uber drivers. Can you give us some 411 on what's it like driving around an Uber? And exactly for the people out there who don't know what Uber is, what is it?
Kind of like a wandering gypsy taxi driver, I guess you'd call it.
Really?
It's a company that you use your own vehicle, and they're very strict on the vehicles. You have to have it in tip-top shape. It has to be perfectly clean. You have to be perfectly clean. You have to be friendly and nice.
That rules out bull.
I know, really. It is good though because you make your own hours. You can.
Do they check you before you start driving or something?
Yeah, they give you a full physical, make you turn your head and cough, and that kind of thing. But
yeah,
they don't.
Would be awkward.
Yeah, it is a little awkward, but it's no, it's good. It's good. I've been starting at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Who the hell is up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Surprisingly, not many people. No, but I get out and I, kind of just wander around for a while, and
so
you'd be amazed how different. Like I brought one fare into South Station one morning, and it was about 4:45, and I went in Route 1. Route 1 was totally empty. There wasn't a car on it.
Of course, Route 1 is a major freeway here in the Boston area.
It is. It's a major road. And I went in, I came out on 93, which is the opposite side of the road, or the opposite side of the, another highway. Came back through the city, got another fare, and I just brought him to Lowe's hardware store, which was only not even a half a mile, maybe a mile away. But I had to go back down onto Route 1. This is only 45 minutes later, bumper to bumper.
All right, let's get down to brass tack. What kind of buckaroos you looking at here?
Well, it all depends on how hard you work, really.
So what are the
the more fares you do, you get a percentage of the fares.
Do they charge by time, a distance?
It's a combination, really. It's a combination.
There's an equation?
Yes, it is an equation. If you just go by a flat rate, I mean, they figure out, from here to here it should take you so long, and they pre pre-estimate the time, and it's paid on a credit card. There's no cash involved at all.
No cashews.
No, well, if Quincy was on there, there may be cashews.
Do you think they would accept a 78 Honda Hawk?
Throw it in the trunk.
Now,
No,
Quin-
they would not accept.
So there
the
was no
78 on
dispatcher
there.
in the mix, like
No,
on
there isn't.
tax-
It's all done. It's all done on a cell phone.
I'm
They even have GPS.
on
They
that
tell
app.
you. They tell you where to go to pick up the fare. They give you a GPS to tell you where to go to pick up the fare. They give you names and everything, and then when you pick up the fare, and you start the trip, and it tells you where to go. It gives you a GPS map on where you're going.
Unbelievable. This portion of Milk and Cashews brought to you by Uber. Now, while Mark was telling his fascinating story in the back, do you hear the crunching going on in the background?
It's quite distracting.
Now,
Quincy got
Quincy.
addicted to dog bones.
Now, Quincy, what exactly are you crunching over there?
Toenails.
Toenails. Now, where did you get these toenails?
Well, we were talking about toenails last week.
So you just went home with a toenail clipper and just started slicing up your toes?
Why not?
Are they flavored?
Sure.
So, no, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, Quincy has a bag. I don't know if they're human toenails or dog toenails or whatever toenails are in there, but it's not anything edible. I don't think anybody on this table would want to touch any of those things. Now, crunch it again.
That is disgusting.
That's gross. Okay, Quincy, we got some questions here for you.
We have our first Uber-sponsored question for the evening, and this relates to Marky D's experience. But Mr. Quincy Briscoe, we have a question from Indianapolis, and the question is, do you wax on or wax off?
Both.
Can you... ele-
Car wax is
Depending on the time of day, is that it?
if you're talking about car wax, you have to apply it, wax on,
Right.
and wax off, just like clap on, clap off the clapper. In this case, it's car wax. You have to apply it and then take it off. Wax on, wax off. The waxer. Same thing with the clapper.
Wax
Okay.
on, wax off, get the clapper.
Yeah. You ever had the clap?
I never had the clapper, but same thing.
No. Okay. All right. Whatever.
But same thing. Any kind of car wax, you have to wax it on, wax it off. You know
I got a
what?
pill for that now.
I think that answers that question. Unbelievable. Now, Quincy, we have a question here from someone who lives up in Alaska, and they have a lot of snow up there 24 hours a day all around the year, and they were wondering, what's the best way to get rid of ice? Is it salt or sand?
Salt and sand mix put together, just like they do on the streets.
But if you can only have one, salt or sand.
Now, wouldn't why would the mix work? Wouldn't you want to get rid of the snow or ice one thing and the sand
well,
does something
I would
else?
have to say then, in this case here, I'm going to have to say both salt sand mix that they put on the streets here.
Why can you never make a decision on this show? You always have to say some of one and some of the other.
Because it's the way that this.
But this question coming from Alaska, this person wants to know which is better, salt or sand, because they only have access to one, and they want to know what your opinion is.
The combination of the two
But they
melts
don't-
it.
but they-
melts it.
But they don't have both of them. They just have one or the other.
You can only pick
You
one.
can only pick one, salt or sand. What does the job better?
The question, number one, salt, or number two, sand.
Salt.
I'd throw number 2 on it.
Because
That'll
salt
melt it.
apparently melts it, just like they sell it. Because sand only like it to a point can make the grip.
Yeah, it just makes it easier to drive over. The sand just makes it easier.
But
to
some of
drive
these, like-
over, and once the take it from me. I work for the Parks Department for years and everything, aside from stalking celebrities. But I happen to know that that what they throw on the streets is calcium chloride, the salt and everything. We don't use the sand and everything, and when we do, when the snow melts and it becomes springtime, we end up with a bunch of sand that you have to shovel off the driveways. Yeah, you have to shovel it off. And what are you going to do with old sand?
I don't know if
Recycle
this-
it.
I don't know if this is a little known fact or not, but salt is really only good down to a certain temperature. Once it gets below a certain temperature, salt doesn't work.
No,
No.
I agree.
In Chicago, I was out there one year, and it got down with wind chill factor. It was to 85 degrees below zero, and they weren't throwing salt on the road. They were throwing a mixture of sand and dirt.
Sand and what?
Dirt.
Sand and dirt.
Yep, just for traction. That's it. They plowed it and threw sand and dirt. No salt.
So there's salt.
I
it was
think
it was too cold. Salt wasn't melting the snow. It wasn't melting the ice.
And you claim that this was melting. This mixture was melting.
No,
Sand
wouldn't
and
melt-
dirt.
no, it was too cold.
Yeah, but you're claiming that sand and dirt was working.
No, all it was doing was giving you traction so you didn't skid.
It didn't actually melt anything.
Didn't melt anything.
Maybe your toenails could melt them.
There you go. That'll give you that'll give you traction.
The next question comes from Ranger Delilah in Yellowstone National Park.
Oh, hello,
Yes,
Ranger
yes,
Delilah. How are you doing tonight?
And
Say hi to Yogi Bear, Boo Boo.
Yeah, he must,
Mr. Ranger Smith.
He must be married to Ranger Smith.
her question for you, Quincy, is if animals could talk, which one would be the rudest? If animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest?
I know who I would say.
Probably the tiger. Number one, he's the strongest. You know, and so maybe he could be the rudest because the tiger is very dangerous. Why not the tiger be the rudest, right? Tiger's very dangerous, right?
How about the wolf?
But why would the tiger be rude?
Well, he's strong and dangerous, so why not the tiger be rude, the rudest? If you can have one flavored animal, they say, where is this tiger? You know, the tiger. You know, he's been known to be quite vicious, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about vicious. We're talking about rude. Like, how about the wolf?
What do you?
What about when
let's-
women walk by a construction site and the guys are all sitting up there going, "Hey, baby." What do they call those guys? They call them wolves.
Pigs.
Pigs, right? Forgot about that.
Yeah, but wolves and pigs stink. But
We're
tigers,
we're looking for the rude.
well, tiger.
All right, we emphasize it's tiger, so we ain't getting any more out of him this week.
right.
What your opinion? Okay, let's have a little fun. Let's start with you. Who you think could be?
I said wolf.
Okay,
I would go with a skunk.
skunk.
That's just disgusting.
Because they smell.
I think a skunk would be unaware how bad they smelled, and they would simply have no manners.
Right? How rude you'd be.
Okay,
I would have to go with porcupine.
they're strong, yeah. Because if you stick a porcupine, okay.
I would have to say polar bear because they're cold and mean all the time.
Yeah, but we take polar bear plunges. Called the polar bear plunge brownies. You know, there are some who'll do it every day, but some celebrate New Year's.
That's
Some
right.
plunge
For those of you who
brownies
don't
every
know, Quincy is a member of the L Street Brownies. Now, an L Street Brownie is a bunch of lunatics who, no offense, Jeff, from South Boston over there, who on New Year's Day, it doesn't matter if it's 70 degrees or 70 degrees below zero, get down to their skivvies, and what do you guys do?
You jump in the cold water.
You jump in the Atlantic Ocean on
Well,
New Year's Day.
Well, you wouldn't be a brownie if with warm water. So got to celebrate.
Most people I see coming out of there are more blue than brown, Quincy, when they come out of freezing water.
Well, have the guts. You put sneakers on and run into the cold water, and then they blow the horn, da 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 da, and jump in, jump out, go back in. You know, it's fun.
How many times have you done this?
A few times.
Right. How many times when you're there during New Year's Day have you run back and forth?
Well, 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times.
You know, get noticed. You know, it's fun.
Really? You
Yeah,
do
well,
get notice.
Do they
In fact,
only do it during the winter?
they only do it on New Year's Day.
Well, you wouldn't be a brownie if you're gonna do it in warm water. That's why they're called the brownies.
I think they call them the blueies or the
Well,
the ridiculous idiots.
they're cold as ice, paradise, as you're sucking down more toenails over there. Now, Quincy, you wanted to talk about you're getting into the world of politics, I heard, and I understand that you wanted to give your report card on how the president is doing. Of course, the president, when we're taping this, is Donald Trump. So the floor is yours, Senator.
Well, the thing that caught my eye not so long ago, Mr. Trump, he delivers, not just talks, but for some reason he's delivering what was brought to my attention, the bodies that belonged to families so long ago. They're finally taken the bodies on to be cremated. They want despite the fact it was so long ago, they want their people back. You know,
From where?
What bodies are you referring to?
I don't know who, but what difference does it make? The people wanted their people
Well,
back.
I think it could make a difference.
I think the families want to know what difference does it make? Just some random
It's
body.
like if they needed to be cremated at a certain time, Mr. Trump finally delivered these people back to their loving families to take them back, you know, and to do what they need. You know, it's the principle of the whole thing. For some reason, but Mr. Trump made it happen. There's another issue. I think the story goes like this. Someone in the college dorm room got drunk, neglected to get medical attention, and died 12 to 15 hours later. And somehow it came to Mr. Trump's attention. Why did all this happen? When someone needs medical attention, you do it now, right now. Why? Because maybe the kids are scared they're going to be getting in trouble. No, when someone gets in trouble, you get medical attention right now on the double. Otherwise, you're going to be the one in trouble. You know, Mr. Trump delivers. You know, we love him. He's the apprentice. You're fired. And now,
Well, as I understand it, there are quite a few positions in government either opening up or maybe opening up soon. If you were asked to serve in government, Mr. Briscoe, what do you anticipate you could do?
government politics is a long thing. I don't know. I would have to I'd be somehow a speaker. I'm very good at speaking, as you may have noticed.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, then.
Yeah, I would. If it written down correctly, and I would rehearse it, I would somehow be a speaker because I love to go in front, and I have the gift to go in front of crowds. I would have to be a speaker, right?
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Quincy Briscoe.
Yeah, why not?
I think you'd make a great dairy secretary.
That too. But they put in long hours at the White House. You're ugly. Well, I'm speaking to politicians.
Okay,
I had to let's have a little fun.
you did. I understand.
And
that.
you had to get me my own personal sleeping quarters, my own coffee, milk, cashews, everything.
Toenails.
Toenails, steak tip sandwiches, everything. I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the White House, and it's long hours. But the thing about politics, you have to promise what you deliver. Deliver what you promise. Because that's the thing about Mr. Trump. He doesn't talk. He delivers. It's a rare, nasty world in the thing of politics. Right?
We have our next question from the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Very good. Very good. Let's have it.
Would you rather, in your life, for the rest of your life, would you rather have all traffic lights be green or never stand in line again? You can only pick one.
Never stay in line again. We mean never stay in line.
Never stand in line anywhere ever again, or have all green lights.
When you say stay in line, let me try to rephrase this, ladies and gentlemen. You say stay in line with the cars or traffic?
No, I mean in any line anywhere. Dunkin' Donuts, at the store, anywhere. Standing in line, just you, or all green lights when you're driving.
Okay, let me try to rephrase. You mean no red lights at all?
Right.
I'd rather stand in line like a gentleman, and have it done right. Because traffic lights, by right, ladies and gentlemen, are for your safety. You slow down and on a yellow light, and red light means go, and red light means stop. That is a simple question. Why would we want to change the trafficking system?
The question, Mr. Briscoe, would you, Quincy, prefer green lights all the time just for you, or never stand in line ever again?
I'd rather have correct traffic lights than not stand in line.
Very good. Marky D,
Right.
what's your answer?
My answer?
All green lights or never stand in line ever again? It's a tough question.
That's a simple question.
I think I would rather. I think I would rather stand in line.
Well,
So-
it's,
because
it's,
I-
a,
so-
it's, a,
because
it's
I-
a tough question for an Uber driver.
So you'd
It's an
prefer-
easy
It is.
question
It is
for me.
because I don't know if any of you have ever experienced a thing called gridlock, and I think if you had all green lights, I think that you would instantly always be in constant gridlock if everybody had open. If all the intersections were just open to traffic.
No one could stop. No one could go. No one could yield
You'd
to
never go anywhere.
pedestrians.
You'd never be able to go anywhere because everybody would just block the intersection.
But what
it's
if it
bad
was-
enough when the
No,
intersections when the lights work.
What if it was just for you?
Oh, if it was just for me?
Yes.
Oh, then I'd rather have all green lights.
Oh,
What do you think?
no.
If it was just for me.
Just for you.
If it was just for me. If they saw me coming and all the lights turned red except for me, then it would be nice because then I could make a fortune.
How would you make a fortune?
Because I could do my fares a lot quicker.
You could do your being a community police that I am. I'd rather have
I can stand in line.
yeah, but the lines go pretty damn quick. PDQ, pretty damn
Well,
quick.
that's whatever. I can stand in line, but this morning, I mean, because of red lights, I was held up a lot because of red lights. If I had all green lights, I could have made it.
Yeah, but
I coulda made
the
a
traffic
quick
that
trip.
have accidents.
No, not if they were just for me. If all the other cars had to stop, just I had the green lights.
Yeah, and, what about turning left, right,
I don't care about that.
Up, down.
up, down? No.
Doesn't matter. If it's only for me, it doesn't matter.
Inside, outside.
If it's just
South
for
Boston,
me, it doesn't
Jeff. What do you
matter.
think?
Just for
Oh
you.
well, I
doesn't
don't
make any
drive,
sense.
so it's a simple question. I'm not waiting in any lines, and I'm going right to Disney World. I'm gonna
Wow,
experience in every ride, every roller coaster. I'm cruising to the front of the line.
This does not make any
He's
sense.
at somewhat of an advantage on that question, though.
Okay.
Could you repeat the question? It's been so long.
No lines or all green lights.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope you answer correctly.
Okay, well, it's my answer, so it will be correctly. I'm going to say I would rather have green lights because I can't stand waiting in line. I can't stay waiting in line at the movie theater. I can't stay waiting in line anywhere. So I would say green lights all the way.
You just kind of contradicted
You
yourself.
you picked both. You did Quincy Briscoe.
Well, I'm sitting next to him and it's rubbing off on him. So, well, that's why I asked you to repeat the question, unlike Quincy's repeat.
You may either green lights the rest of your life or never stand in a line. You may pick one of those options.
All right.
I'd rather be, like I said, I'm a community policer. I'd rather stand in line for half an hour and have the community policing, that is why they invented traffic lights, ladies and gentlemen, to prevent accidents.
Who's German?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
to prevent accidents. And the problem is people go through red lights, they go through whatever, and that's how accidents happen. That's how people get killed. You lose a friend. It's a shame. Accidents happen every day for all the wrong reasons.
Friends don't let friends stand in line.
They stand in line for a certain reason, to count the change, to get whatever it is they're looking for, coffee, to make the coffee the correct way,
There you go, yeah.
It's important.
Now, what if you have no legs? You can't stand in line.
no legs.
Yeah, well, you have no legs. You can't stand.
Get them a wheelchair.
Okay, so they can wheel in line.
That's why they have what they call special handicapped sections,
Right.
I don't think they should change the traffic system on lights, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, all right. Fantastic over there. Do we have...
I would-
All right,
I
Mr.
would,
College, what's your?
I would
what's your-
pick green lights.
You'd go for the green lights?
No question.
Yeah, see? Makes
Green
getting
lights.
around a lot quicker.
No, yeah, and you'll die quicker too.
Why?
Oh, as I said just now,
Nobody. You couldn't run a red light. If you ran the red light, your car would disappear.
it'll disappear, all right, right into the boneyard with you in it. Then the funeral, people would have to come, dig you out of what's left of the car.
But with the funeral, you don't need lights because they have the escort by the cops. They go right through the lights.
Well, it's not just the police officers, the cops. It would be the medical examiner. That had to be.
Well, you're dead. You don't need a medical examiner anymore.
that they do an
Yeah, he's
autopsy.
dead.
And ambulances and stuff don't obey traffic laws either. They just go right through the lights.
In Quincy, if they couldn't play red light, green light anymore.
They're authorized, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, the ambulances, but at a certain speed limit. And playing red light, green light, that is done.
I don't know if this still has precedent or not. But I remember that years ago. Remember when you used to take a test for your learner's permit? You used to have to go in and take a test for when you get your license.
Sure.
They used to put a trick question on there. And the trick question was, which has precedent? A fire truck, a police car, an ambulance, or a mail truck?
I would say everyone except the mail truck.
You're absolutely wrong.
Why?
Because the mail truck is federal. Nothing stops the mail.
Really?
Now, what was that? What was like in plain English? What was like the question to that?
They said, what has precedence?
What has precedent?
A fire truck, police car, an ambulance, or a mail truck?
Or a 78 Honda Hawk.
Well, if that's the case, then how come a postal worker can't do the same, arrest procedures as an FBI if they both work for the federal government?
I don't see how that's even related.
It's not related, but I'm just saying off the record here. If they're both, if the
I'm
post
just saying,
office guy
I don't
is
know.
a federal
I don't
employee,
know
just
how
like
it's
the
related.
FBI.
I don't know how it's related. All I know is that it used to be on the test for your learner's permit,
Right.
and like almost 100% of people got it wrong because everybody would choose like the police car or the fire truck or the ambulance. No one would pick the mail truck, and the mail truck was supposed
Maybe
to
that's
be
why those guys
the
go
correct
postal.
answer. I don't know.
Could be.
Give them some credit, though. I like.
I would hope they would change that too. By the way,
Well,
The mailman does deserve credit because he does deliver any kind of weather.
they just said
to a
nothing
point.
stops. Nothing can interfere with the delivery of the mail.
in Marky D's defense, he is correct.
And
Because let me tell you why, Quincy. He took the learner's permit with Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone.
That's right. Stone tablets.
but we gotta give the same credit to our 911 police officers, ambulances, fire department. They're around there on the double. I think they all deserve precedent. They all need the same respect, the same because they're all there.
I agree, 100%. That's why I could never understand the question.
And on that note, Quincy, it's about time we have to go deliver the mail for this week. So do you have anything final things to say to your fans?
Well, first of all, happy Father's Day, because I understand Father's Day was coming up. Would you like to say something, sir? Did you want to? I know you give good.
Live long and prosper.
Did you want to say something, sir?
Live long and prosper.
I run that by. I'm playing
Live long and prosper.
live long and proper. Oh, okay. What else? Everything's important. This is a very good one tonight. Anyone else?
That's about it, Quiz.
Well, thank you for watching radio, Milk and Cashews. Do drive carefully and obey all
Watch out for
traffic
mail
laws.
trucks.
Obey all traffic laws, the mail trucks, everything.
And finish off that toenail before we go.
You can keep your bag of chips. I'm not amused. I'm riding shotgun with milk and cashews.